Right, everyone, we're going to go ahead and get started with chapter one. This is going to be Introduction to Technical Communication. Depending on how long this goes, I try not to make my videos go over 10-ish minutes. So if I see myself going over, you'll see me looking at I'm timing myself. If I start to notice that I am getting close to that or I've gone over the mark, I'm going to pause so that way we can pause. I don't like to post like one long video. So you can watch the first half or you can watch both in all one setting. It's up to you. But I'm aware of people's attention spans, people's time. So if you see that there are two videos, that just means I broke up this presentation into two different recordings. So watch part one and then you'll go on to part two. But let's go ahead and jump into the content for what is technical communication. So the main point of this class is to train your technical writing skills since they are different from academic writing. And even though you'll hear me use technical communication, technical writing, business writing, it's all going to be interchangeable because essentially the goal with technical writing is different from academic writing. Academic writing, it's usually very one singular purpose, and I'll explain that more in the next slide. However, though, the foundation of both writing styles is usually the same. You're going to have an audience, that's also known as readers. So you're going to have readers, you will have a purpose, you're going to have organization strategies, but the goal and product are going to be different between the two. So, for example, the purpose of academic writing can usually be you are writing this term paper to discuss a topic to prove you deserve a good grade. You are taking a history class and you have a history professor. The history professor is the expert of this content, and you are writing this paper showing your research to show why you deserve a good grade. But with technical writing, the purpose is to achieve something with work. So, are you helping a customer? Are you trying to gain a new client? Are you writing to the entire company? Are you rolling out a new training software? If you're in HR, there's going to be a different goal when it comes to technical writing because it all goes back to work. So that's why I said I sometimes use business writing as well. So it's very interchangeable. So it's always important to remember the key differences. And as you work on assignments for this course or for any future writing you'll be doing for your career, it just always remember these key differences. Academic writing is very singular. I was starting to get at that. One expert, one purpose, one goal, one reader. But with technical writing, you might actually be the expert speaking to other experts or non-experts. So you are an HR professional and you are going to be rolling out a new training software and you need to explain to the company on what to expect. Not everyone in your company is an HR professional, but you are. So that's what I meant. You are going to be the expert sometimes talking to other non experts. You might have multiple readers who either have one goal or several. Are you going to be writing to your team? Are you going to be writing to an external company? Are you going to be writing to the board, to your boss? Are you going to be writing to multiple people? So you have to make sure your language applies, the writing that you use can apply to different types of readers. And that leads me into your audience. Like I said, audience and readers are the same kind of interchangeable terms. Now you know that there are going to be two different styles of writing. We're going to be focused on technical business writing. And now it's important to know who your audience is going to be because this is crucial because you are going to be writing for the reader. You're not writing for yourself. You're not writing a term paper to try to get a good grade at the end of the semester. You are the expert. You are on the job. You are writing for other people that are relevant to your job. Are you writing a proposal for a potential new client? Like I said, are you creating new training programs? Are you trying to get approval or do you need an extension on the budget? You need to know who your writer is to understand you need to know who your reader is to understand your reader, if that makes sense. This is especially important for non-experts, because that's what I was trying to get at with like your language. What if you have to send a report out, send a memo out to everyone in the company, everyone who's not on your team, people in different industries? You are writing to people who are IT, you're writing to people who are in marketing, you're writing to admin assistants. So you need to make sure that your memo is clear, simple, and concise and gets your message across to all different types of readers. So that's where it's important to know how to prepare for your writing. It all depends on who your reader is going to be. But you also need to ask yourself is how do you prepare for a reader who doesn't know your field along with any other potential obstacles? So, to know your audience, you need to first understand that there are going to be obstacles that your readers might face. So, you need to know who you're writing to. And once you know who you're writing to, you need to understand the different obstacles that might be in their way. So, for example, first obstacle is readers are going to be constantly interrupted. So, you send a report out to the board requesting additional budget and a longer timeline on a project. But let's say you send the report out at 8 a.m. People, are getting in maybe before 8 a.m. People are probably arriving late. They're running late for a meeting. They opened your email at 8:30. They start reading. Oh no, I have a meeting at 9 o'clock. I'm booked for the next couple hours. I'll get back to it. One board member might start reading it, but they get a phone call, an urgent phone call, and they have to handle that first. Sometimes your readers might be reading your reports, your memos, your writing in different settings. So that's where, once again, having clear, concise messaging and writing is going to be important because you're going to want your readers to be able to pick up where they left off. Your readers might also be impatient. This can be, you're writing to another expert or non-experts. Pretty much people are just going to want to know the point. Like, what's the point of this memo? What's the point of the email? What's the point of your report? They usually want to know that within the abstract, which is within the first two sentences. So always make sure you are addressing that right off the bat. This is what you're telling this person, this is what you're reading, and this is why. The third obstacle might be because your reader might have a different background from you. So in this case, you would be the expert educating the reader. When it comes to this, though, however, be careful when it comes to your writing. Once again, clear, simple, concise writing is going to be your friend because you don't want to be writing to non experts who are not familiar with your industry, who are not familiar with the lingo, and you don't want them to read something and it completely goes over their head. You wouldn't be accomplishing your purpose. So always make sure you are writing for different, multiple types of readers. Which leads me to the fourth obstacle. Most likely, you're going to be writing for multiple readers. There might be multiple decision makers. Are you writing to your manager? Are you writing to the board members? Are you writing to the entire company? People who work in different sectors? You might have multiple readers who are each facing their own obstacle. So you need to be able to respond and adapt to your readers. And this is just kind of more information on how to know your audience and ways to understand. These are questions that I would probably start with when it comes to writing. What do you know? Who are you writing to? What's their background? And what do they need? Do they need information? Do they just need an FYI? Do they need to be informed of a potential bad situation? Also, talk with your colleagues, ask around the office, send an email. Has someone written a report before? How did it go? Have you written to the board before? Maybe you started a new job. This is going to be your first report to your manager. Ask your colleagues, like, how does our manager like to read? How do they like to receive their reports? Also, who makes decisions? Are you going to be writing strictly to the decision makers, the people who say, yes, you can have more money, you can have a longer timeline? Yes, I approve you as a new client. Who are you writing to? Who are the decision makers? You need to know the needs of your most important reader. And I'm going to be repeating this. Keep it simple. All readers, it doesn't matter if they're experts or non experts, they all want simplicity. So always practice concise, simple writing. And I'm going to go ahead and pause right here because I noticed I'm coming up on the 10-minute mark. So let's go ahead and pause. You can go ahead and continue with the next video. You can pause, take a break, go grab a snack, maybe look at this tomorrow. But I'm going to pause here. This is the end of video 1, and I will pick up in video 2.